So I went to a spiritual father who decided that he was going to help me. But he told me that there were so many conditions attached. First off, he said that I would have to sleep in the cemetery for some days, and not just some days, 30 days.
Ha! Wait. I want to understand. You slept in a graveyard for 30 days?
Yes. So I went back to my baba to complain that, see, what's going on? That this is my rival, this is my colleague. She's doing better off than me. I know that, yes, I have enough, but it's not enough. I'm not contented. And so he told me that I would be buried in a coffin for 10 whole days.
You will be...
Yeah.
You will be buried?
Yes, buried. I was scared. But above all, my fear wasn't as strong as the zeal to want to surpass this girl by all means. So I did the unthinkable and told him I would go ahead with it.
You actually went ahead with it?
Hey. As fate would have it, yes, I did.
God, oh. Hello guys, Sugar Plum here again, and this is Confess with Sugar. I don't need to explain myself more, so just like we always do, there will be no use of name. And as you guys can see, I've also added another thing. So if you are somebody that wants to come on this show and you're worried that somehow your identity will be revealed, so you can see the person sitting here, you can't tell. Even if you are this person's family member, you won't know the person is the person sitting here. So I'm just going to, we have a guest here today, and I'm just going to allow her to start talking. So yeah, you can start.
Thank you. I don't even know where to start from with my story, but I'm into prostitution, and because of the high competition in prostitution, I had to find other means to excel in it. Of course, now you don't go want make your own done for inside this prostitution industry where we do. So there's so many girls involved. There's so many girls that, you know, you see them, they live big lifestyle, but sometimes it can put you under some unnecessary pressure that you don't expect to find yourself. And those pressures they are what has pushed me to doing what I did. You know, I saw a colleague of mine, there was a colleague of mine that we were both in the same field together, and you know, on one fateful day, I saw that she had hit it big, and I wondered how she did hers. So in my mind, I felt that maybe she had upgraded. And you know that in prostitution, you have to protect yourself at all costs, and you also have to do certain things in order to live up to the lifestyle. So,
okay, sorry to call you short. When you said upgraded, what do you mean by she upgraded? Does it mean like she started getting money or something?
Yeah, I just noticed that all of a sudden she was wearing expensive hair, she was wearing good clothes, she changed her phone, she barely even sleeps at home anymore. She was always with one sugar daddy or the other. It was not even up to 2 months. She got a car. And it was not even an ordinary car, it was a Benz. So that made me feel like this is a girl that, we came into this field together now. We started almost at the same time. Why you gonna make her before me? I don't understand. And so that gingered me to find means of sorting myself out. So I went to a spiritual father who decided that he was going to help me. But he told me that there were so many conditions attached. First off, he said that I would have to sleep in the cemetery for some days, and not just some days, 30 days.
Ha! Wait. I want to understand. You slept in a graveyard for 30 days.
Yes, I slept in the graveyard for 30 days with no food, no water. I just had to sleep there. I was not allowed to communicate with anyone. I was just told to sleep there for 30 whole days. And it was not an easy task. It was a very excruciating one. But somehow I survived it. And afterwards, I went to the Baba. We performed some certain rituals and rites and everything. And voila, I was back to my grind. But one thing I noticed is that everything that I laid my hands on was booming. It was always going smoothly. I was making money. Like when I say money, I was making money. I had to even open up several other businesses because I didn't know what to use the money for anymore. And everything was just going well. I was able to, spend the way I want, go to wherever I want to go to. Even big men. There was no politician in this country that was not willing to have his way with me. They were willing to pay millions. And when I say millions, if it was possible for them to pay billions just to have their way in between my legs, I'm pretty sure they would. And, at some point I started charging really high because they were getting too much. And then, so on one fateful day, it just occurred to me that remember that I said earlier that there was a colleague of mine that actually propelled me to wanting to get a better life. So
more like she's your rival or something.
Yes, she's. You can say that because, to be honest, I didn't even want to see her as a rival. I actually wanted her to be below me. But I noticed one thing, that no matter what I did, this girl always came out at the top. She was getting some deals from these same politicians. My man, I'm like, are they not the same politicians that would do anything to have their way with me? She was getting contracts, getting deals, getting endorsement. She was even opening malls. And here I was thinking that my life was better off. So I went back to my Baba to complain that, see, what's going on? That this is my rival, this is my colleague. She's doing better off than me. I know that, yes, I have enough, but it's not enough. I'm not contented. And the Baba said that, okay, if I know that I want to be above her by all means, that then it means that I have to also do something that's stronger than myself. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he said that this girl was not an ordinary girl, that she obviously has done, things that I may not be able to do. I asked him, what would that be? He said, if I really, really, really want to be above the girl, then I'm going to do something that I only have a 50-50 chance at either life or death. And I was scared. So he said that. I asked him what it was, because the pressure to just want to make it and be better off than this girl was too strong for me. I just wanted to be better than her, to be number one. And so he told me that I would be buried in a coffin for 10 whole days.
You'll be buried.
Yes, buried. I was scared, but above all, my fear wasn't as strong as the zeal to want to surpass this girl by all means. So I did the unthinkable and told him I would go ahead with it.
You actually went ahead with it?
Hey. As fate would have it, yes, I did.
God, oh.
I went ahead with it, and he gave me a warning and said that he told me earlier that it was a 50-50 chance at life or death. He said that for the 10 days that I would be buried in that coffin, my spirit was going to leave me. He said that for those 10 days, if my spirit leaves me and doesn't come back to me, then I'm as good as dead. But if he comes back to me, then everything that I want would be mine. Anything at all, anything at all, that it would only be at my fingertips. And I was elated, I was happy. And out of the fear and the zeal, I don't know which was stronger, I went ahead and I was buried for 10 whole days.
Hey.
And after the 10 days, I came back alive to the glory of God. And some other rites were performed. And my Baba told me that there was nothing I wanted, I will not touch my hands. And so truly, everything I wanted was truly mine. But there was still a clause. He said that after every 45 days, I still also have to renew the ritual.
After you have been buried for 10 days, you still have to be doing renewal again.
Yes, after 45 days. So I was happy. I was very happy and I was very contented that no matter what the girl did, she could never meet up to me. I was number one at the top. I mean, who go did that kind of position where you know go happy say now you did on top. I had everything I wanted. And so after the 45 days, I went back to Baba to see what was next. And he told me that the ritual that I have to perform next was to use people. And when I mean use people, it means that I have to use their good luck. I have to take away their good luck from them. So, and I have to use young boys. So I went in search for young boys. But one thing I noticed is that most of these young boys and young men on the road, a lot of them are just walking cops. None of them have anything in them anymore.
What do you mean?
Like they were just walking cops. They had been used without realizing that they've been used. Like it was really, really, really difficult getting a young guy who had not been used.
Hey.
It was very difficult. And I wondered that, wow. So all these fine boys on the streets, riding cars, riding everything, they were useless. They were just empty calabash. But somehow I was lucky and I got someone. But I did not even realize that this person that I got was going to be my boomerang. So I took him. We did the needful. We slept together, and afterwards I went to my secret place. I went to my coven to do the needful as my spiritual father had requested, as Baba had requested. Everything was going smooth. The ritual was going smooth until the last procession, and something struck me. I started feeling dizzy. The next thing I can remember was that I ran out in pain. And on running outside, I found the guy smiling at me. He was very creepy. And I asked him, why are you laughing? Why are you smiling? I'm in pain and you're smiling. And they said to me, it's not everyone you see on the streets or every guy that you think you can use. And you would be a lesson. And I was like, what do you mean? He said he has been watching me closely. He had been seeing everything, my every moves, everything that I'd been doing from the start, and I've been disturbing their kingdom. I said, kingdom, what do you mean? And he said that my spirit has been tormenting their kingdom because I'm neither alive and I'm neither dead. He was like, which one exactly? This minute I'm in the living, I'm with the living. The next minute I'm with the dead. But after that, I couldn't really remember much. He left, which was very weird. And all I remember was it just felt like the walls were closing in on me. The room felt smaller. I was feeling very dizzy, very lightheaded, and I blacked out. That was all I remembered. And then when I woke up, I found myself in between water and fire with this very bright light that was very blinding because I really couldn't see the faces of the people who were there due to the light's reflection. And one of them looked at me and told me that, because I asked where I was, and they told me that I was in between water and fire, and that I had a choice either to live or to die, which means that if I chose to be drowned in the water, it meant that I chose life. And in choosing life, it means that I would be returning to abject poverty, which means that everything that I amassed would be gone. My
Everything
money,
you did all these things for.
my businesses, all the deals I got, that it would be gone. And I was scared. And then, as if they had read my mind, they said if I choose fire, it means that I'm condemning myself to hell, which means death. Who would want to die after everything? I mean, I didn't want to die. I wanted a second chance at life. At least, if not anything, to mend my ways and to be able to correct any young girl on the streets like myself who would want to make the same mistake that I've made. And so I chose water. And truly, when I came back to life, everything that I had was gone. Everything I had to my name was gone. I was back to square one. And even the square one would have even been much better because I had absolutely nothing. Feeding was difficult. It felt like I was useless, like I was just an empty vessel walking on this earth. But that was better than being dead, right?
Yeah.
And I know that at least I have a chance at life to mend my ways and to correct everything. I know I may not be able to right my wrongs, but I can help other girls on the street out there who are as reckless as I am, who are desperate to have it at all costs. So my advice to every girl out there who is as desperate as I am is to wait for your time. No condition is permanent. I know it sounds cliche, but no condition is permanent. As long as you believe and you keep working hard and you keep pushing, you can't ever remain in the same position that you are at. One day, God will see you. He would see your struggles and He would lift you up. Don't be desperate like me. Don't do what you would end up regretting. You don't want to be a walking a walking dead or a walking corpse like myself, because
you're not a working corpse.
clearly I have nothing to offer anymore. There's obviously nobody who would settle with a girl like me.
Never say never.
God, I'm grateful.
God gave you a chance to live for a reason. And you cannot tell me that God is mad or he's stupid. So for the fact that even after everything that you did, you were still given a choice to choose between dying and living. Right? So, and I'm glad that you're happy that you were given a chance to mend your ways. And also, when you see any young girl out there that is trying to take the same step that you took, I know that you will call the person back and say, come, that place you're going, don't go there. You get?
Yes.
So, even Job in the Bible, he suffered. He suffered before God even remembered him. You know, if you read your Bible, you know what he went through. That's why when people are saying, I'm suffering, people make the reference of, you never suffer rich Job. You get? So, me, I believe that God still has plans for you, and it won't take time, and he will unveil his plans for you. So, my dear, you are not a working corpse. You're of good use for us here. You're of good use for us here. And if you're hoping that one day you would find love, don't judge yourself. Allow God to be the judge. And just one day, you might just meet your own Prince Charming. All right? So, yeah. So, guys, you people have heard everything that she said. You know, I allow that. If you notice, when someone is making their confessions, I try as much as possible not to interrupt them. I saw some comment of saying, why don't you ask them questions? You know, when somebody is trying to explain to you what they went through and you're bombarding them with questions, sometimes they forget the most important details in their story. So that's why when they are talking, I try as much as possible not to ask too much questions. I just allow them to flow. So share this video to as many as possible, because you might be saving somebody out there. As a young girl, if it's Gary that you're selling and that Gary is coming from a genuine place and you have peace of mind, just keep selling it. One day you will sell in painter, one day you will sell in bags, and then you will start selling in plenty bags. So there is time for everything. Stay contented with what you have. Stay and live within your reach. I will see you guys on my next episode. Bye.